A draw? A draw? What fight were they watching? What the? Bruh, I don't know what to think. I know this isn't really an official match for the most part. This was more like an exhibition. I understand the whole situation. But if anybody was watching this fight, despite all of that, if you were really watching this fight, you would know that Mike Tyson easily won this fight. Easily. And he didn't even hit Roy in the head. Not once did he really land anything clean in the head of Roy Jones. This doesn't make sense. How is it a draw? Did they really watch this, bro? The fact that they call this a draw makes me believe that they're trying to set up another fight. Like they just want to just do this moving forward. No, that was not a draw. Everybody saw this. First of all, Mike didn't get hurt by anything Roy did. There was one clean shot, like one clean jab that really hit Mike that you could say, hey, that probably did a little damage. Other than that, Roy did nothing but, he did nothing. He did nothing but clinch Mike, throw a few jabs here and there, and back away. Now again, the tactic Roy did in this match was completely smart. He protected himself for the most part. Whenever Mike was charging at him, he would immediately start to hug and clinch the dude. I'm fine with that. His tactic was fine. He had to protect himself. And if you saw in this match, honestly, stamina-wise, Roy Jones was just more gassed than Mike. Like, you saw the end of round one, and Roy started to really look gassed. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson, he's perfectly fine. After 2 rounds, Mike is still fine. Roy's looking really gassed. Then you just go through the rest of the rounds, and it's just like, Mike starts to get gassed as expected, but then you look at Roy Jones. He's 2 seconds away from passing out. I mean, good Lord. Stamina-wise, we all expected Roy to have the advantage. It was not there. This was just a lot of hugging, clinching. There was not much to this fight. There were a few moments where you saw Mike flash the old Mike Tyson, where he saw that power, that strength, that ferociousness, and he got a couple solid hits. There were moments in this match where Mike actually did damage on Roy. And all of that had to deal with the body shots. He got one clean hit in the head, but it wasn't a major one. All the big shots that Mike took against Roy dodged and avoided. He avoided all those big punches. So it was nothing big that really landed on Roy for the most part. But no question. Oh, God, my bad. No question. Mike did damage on Roy. Everybody saw it. He won every single round. There's not a single round you could sit back and look in this fight and say Roy Jones won. No. Mike won every single round, and he didn't even really aim for his head. He didn't take any shots at his head for the most part, and he won every single round. Those body punches were adding up, and Roy looked, at the end of the fight, Roy looked done. He was holding on for dear life. He continued to poke the bear, and he was holding on for dear life. This is, man, this is sad. This is sad. It's clear, unless something surprising happened, like one of them getting knocked out, there was no way they were not going to call a draw. I think they got this set from the beginning to the end. They said, hey, if they go out there and put up a good show and nobody gets knocked out, then we'll just call it a draw. This is sad. And the worst part is, like, you looked at Mike. Mike looked nice, for him, especially considering the fact that he hasn't fought in 15 years and stuff. He looked really nice. He still has that strength. He showed a lot of great moves. Some of the old fundamentals he was able to do. You saw a lot from Mike Tyson. Unfortunately, every time he tried to be the aggressor, every time he tried to do something, Roy was ready to clinch. Just sad. This fight really showed Mike still has something left. And Mike, at the end of the fight, says he wants to continue to do this moving forward. Not in terms of winning the belt, but continue to doing more of this for charity and stuff. Doing stuff like what they did tonight. He's perfectly fine with doing that. And if that's what Mike wants to do, hey, I got no problem. I love to watch it. But for the most part, this was not a draw. This was not a draw. Anybody watching this fight knows this was not a draw. Mike took every single round. What were they scoring? Mike won every single round. It wasn't a contest. Roy did nothing. He didn't hurt Mike at all. There was no damage on Tyson. Tyson wasn't even gassed at the end of the fight. Meanwhile, Rory looks like he's 2 steps away from passing out. You hear him after the fight, he's talking about how much pain he's in. Mike's perfectly fine. Rory's talking about how much pain he's in, but this is a draw. Man, it was clear as day. If nobody got knocked down, this was gonna be a draw. They planned this, man. Clear as day, they planned this. If there's any type of situation you really have to look at and say, yeah, they rigged this. This is the moment. Show me the rounds where you can clearly say Roy Jones beat Mike in. You can't point to them. From round 1 all the way to the end of this fight, Mike won every round. No question. Look, go back and look at the fight. Every single round, Mike Tyson won. So how is it a draw? How is it a draw? I am so confused. How is this a draw? It is. I'm disappointed, man. I know this isn't official, but I'm disappointed. Because anybody who's clearly watching this fight knows damn well Mike Tyson won. And he didn't even throw any headshots. None. He didn't really throw an uppercut. He didn't really aim for the head. He didn't take any shots to the head. All of his shots just went to the body of Roy Jones. And clearly that damage added up. And it was showing throughout the round, all 8 rounds. You know, Mike Tyson, from round 1 all the way to the end of the fight, he looked perfectly fine. He was exhausted, obviously. He was a little tired. It's been 15 years since he's been in the ring. He's used to 3-minute rounds too. And he said at the end of the fight, yeah, I'm used to 3-minute rounds, but sometimes it's 2 minutes felt like 3 minutes. I was getting a little tired. So yeah, obviously Mike was tired by the end of the fight. But there was no damage on this dude. Like, he didn't take any hits. Now, I'm not saying the hits that was put on Roy Jones by Mike Tyson was anything severe, but he took damage at least. Every single round, I saw a shot that did damage to Roy, and you would see him back up. And he would either choose the clinch or he would just start backing up and just protecting himself. Man, that's wild. But with all that said, I'm just glad to see Mike fight again. I think all of us are glad to see Mike fight again. And honestly, from what we saw from Mike, he looked nice. If it wasn't a whole clinching and hugging and freaking I'm disappointed. If it wasn't a match that was filled with nothing but hugging, honestly, you could look at what Mike did. Mike looked nice. It would have been nice to see him take a few more shots at the head, but it's clear they were not really kind of doing that today. I don't know, Mike. I don't know. Maybe they just planned not to do that, something like that. But damn, Mike looked nice. Mike looked nice for what he did out there, and with all the clinching that was going on throughout the entire fight. Mike looked nice at moments. So if he wants to continue to do this for charity moving forward, I got no problem. I'll watch it. All I'll say is I feel bad for the people that had to. You know, I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna end it right there because I'm one of those. I'm gonna stop talking right now. But yeah, that's really all I got for the most part. And yeah, a draw. What do you make of that? It was great to see Mike fight again. I'm out of here, man. Peace.